Hello there, this is Chill Bill, and yesterday I went out onto my favourite field with the Deus and I found a nice patch and I found 5 coins there. So I'm going to take my new CTX out and detect the same patch and see if I can find some more coins. That'll be a great test to see whether the CTX can find stuff that the Deus can't. Because it's a rich patch, 5 coins in one small area. Now that's a hotspot. Now if the CTX goes deeper than the Deus, it should find some deep finds below the level I was detecting yesterday, so we should get more. If we don't, it says the Deus is pretty good at getting everything that's to be had and that the CTX hasn't got much of an advantage. But we'll see. It's just another test. Haven't really made out my mind yet. I haven't really made up my mind yet which goes deeper. The Deus is lighter. That's a massive advantage as far as I'm concerned. But deeper is better in most cases. So let's find out, shall we? Come with me. Let's see what we can find.
Well, the CTX can make half an hour feel like 2 hours. It is so heavy, and I'm just a wimp. I mean, if I was a manual worker, it would probably be like a matchstick, but to me, my arm's falling off. But I have got a coin. And the other bad thing about the CTX, although it's not really that bad, it's all my fault really, is that you really don't want to start filming when you get a signal, because you've got this huge lump hanging off your arm. Now, there's the coin. It's a funny little coin. Gave a very clear signal, but a funny little signal. And there it is. No idea what that is. Oh, hold on a minute. That looked like a piece of cheap, modernish French currency. There you go. So that's going to be a 5 centime, I should think. Probably 1960s, something like that. That's my guess. Anyway, a coin's a coin's a coin. And we found it. And that's great. Let's see if there's any more in this little area. Now, the area where I found all the coins of the Deus didn't get a signal at all there.
Now this I wasn't expecting. Just got a bullet and a rivet out of the same hole, and now there's another little tiny signal that fired off. And it wasn't like it was a big signal. See, my other detectors will go crazy for this. And the CX just went, and this is a spectacle buckle, which is a very, very nice find, because this is old. It's a third piece of non-ferrous out of the same hole. And so I put it down to learning the machine, but it's also quite unexpected to get 3 different things out of the same hole. And one of them's a really nice thing. So that's kind of great, but kind of weird and kind of unsettling. But anyway, I should just enjoy it. Nice spectacle buckle. Very sketchy signal for this little thimble. I had to make a gigantic hole to find it. I had to get it with a pinpointer in the end. But found it nonetheless. Broken thimble.
So this is a deep one, probably 10 inches, maybe a bit more. And there is the find, which actually went out of view, so to speak, sonically. And I had to keep going to bring it back out again. And that's well, I'm not sure whether that's a ring or whether that's just your normal kind of horse harness piece. Has a certain depth to it that makes it seem a bit ringy. But anyway, anything bronze and round and old, we like. So that's another find. That's 2 finds. I would say the CTX is running behind yesterday's performance of the Deus, but we're in a different part of the field, so it's not really much more than just a straw test. Not an acid test, a straw poll.
Well, just by where that hole was, approximately there, was a tiny little bit of iron, like a nail, a bit bigger than a nail. But I was getting a funny signal. So I just thought, oh, it's a funny bit of iron. So I picked that up. And then when I went over it again, I got a really nice signal. So the iron was a few inches away and it was masking whatever this coin is. Oh, and we go see what it is. I just flipped this over and I saw there was a coin there. So that's nice. But I'm not sure the Deus would have had that. I'm going to call it a problem, because if I hadn't picked up that little bit of iron on the surface, I'd have never got this signal. It's probably one of them burnt to blazes coin. This is in a very muddy section that floods, so it probably gets a lot of action in terms of water and
electrolytic stuff going on with it, so probably nothing on there. I've been out here about an hour and a half. Oh, it's been okay. It's been okay. Still feel I'm learning this machine. So, Mini Poos, are you guarding my metal detector for me?
So what's my conclusion? Well, my conclusion is that it's inconclusive. I think my major worry about this machine is that it's so heavy, and I'm an old codger, you know, lugging around a heavy machine is not really going to be supportable for me after a couple of hours. Couldn't possibly do it all day. The Deus, on the other hand, I could do all day. It's feather light, it's knockabout, so I think that's really going to be the decider for me, the fact that this machine is really heavy.
Hello, Mini Poos. Where are you going? Mini Poos is on the lookout for trouble, aren't you, Mini Poos? So, Mini Poos, that's where I was. Where are you going? It's going to rain any minute now. Yeah, it's going to rain really heavily. Look at those clouds. It's going to be lightning and thunder. There's no convincing an adventurous cat.
Yesterday, I took the CTX around for an hour and a half and didn't have such a bad time. I got 2 really nice spectacle buckles and I got a nice coin and some bits and pieces. But this time I'm going to take the Deus with the big coil. There she is. And I'm going to follow my exact path, well, give or take, around the field and see if I find anything in my tracks. Now, the reason I can tell is that a tractor's been up and down here and left big ridges. And that's what I followed yesterday. So I can actually pretty much step for step follow the same route. And let's see what I can find. Well, I'm only a few feet in from my starting point, walking exactly down the same place as I went with the CTX, and I just found this tiny little piece of what looks like a thimble. And this is a sort of sketchy piece that I'm starting to think that the Deus will find and the CTX won't. Because I've got a suspicion that American detectors are, of course, tuned in for American finds, and that's clad coins and other thick, round, perfectly circular pieces, not little flakes of this and that, because that's what they find and that's their market. Whereas European detectors are tuned into bits and pieces, hammered coins, little fragments, and I think that might be the difference in performance. But it's early days yet. Well, I must say I'm a bit shocked. This is find number 2, and I've only come a few more feet. There goes the Deus as usual, and this is another 20 yards, and this is a dirty grey lead seal smack bang in the path I came yesterday, literally in the path. Now, of course, the nut behind the metal detector may need adjusting, i.e. me, but even so, 2 finds in about 50 yards where the CTX had none is a bit off-putting, to say the least. But anyway, although 2 dots do make a straight line, let's see if we're going to find some more. They've only just started. This is another big signal on the Deus big coil, and it's an 83, and it's there, not there. Oh, actually I can see it. You can see that? Now, this is actually in the track where I was walking down yesterday. Now, could be I was actually getting knackered by this time. Sorry, in American that's very tired. And I was swinging all over the place. But as I was saying, that's all part of the detector, isn't it? Because I'm going to get tired. And there's a coin, though, straight in the path that I walked. Oh, and it's a jolly one. It's got writing on it. Nice. Well, I've got to say, I think the Deus is winning. I shouldn't have missed that. Very happy with that. Now that's how far I've walked. And this is the first really nice find. And right now, my arm doesn't want to drop off. I found this in the track that I've gone over yesterday and missed this. I'm about 40% of the way round. Let's see what else we can find in the footsteps of the CTX3030.
So here's a little mystery. Walnuts in the middle of the field. And I thought about that for some time. How did the walnuts get into the middle of the field? Or even, why did the walnuts get into the middle of the field? Now, there's no squirrels out here. And what it turns out to be is the birds get a hold of the walnuts, don't want to break them near the tree where they could be ambushed. They pick them up and take them out into a nice flat, safe area and deal with them here. So I think that's pretty smart of them. And another mystery solved. Well, I think I'm having more fun with the Deus because it's lighter. I wouldn't say I'm necessarily finding more, but I am walking in the footsteps of where I've gone with the CTX. I'm doing the same patch in the same way. And I found a buckle, and now I found something which is in this clod. I have no idea what it is yet, so let's find it together. Well, it's meant to be in this clod. Like, almost. So it's there. That's going to be it, isn't it? This little, yep. So that's just a piece of zinc. This is actually getting quite fun. That was my footprint yesterday. And in here, we've got a signal. It's a tiny, tiny, tiny little signal that the Deus picked up. Let's get the pinpointer on. Yep, okay. So it's in here somewhere. It was in here a moment ago, I thought. Well, I think I can see a bit of an edge of a coin there, or a button or something. Shotgun cartridge. So maybe the CTX has got an excuse. Maybe that's trash. A little lead washer. This is a lovely little button. I think that's going to have some pattern on it, and it's at very least gilded. Some sort of plate on it. Very sketchy little signal, but we found it nonetheless. Happy with that. So here's my summary. At first I thought the Deus was definitely finding stuff and the CTX wasn't. And then I found a few more bits and bobs. I mean, a couple of them are literally in the tracks that I've gone with the CTX. But I can't categorically say the Deus absolutely outperformed the CTX because the CTX found more things on its way around. What I can categorically say, I'm not as tired as I was with the CTX. I was out there probably quite a bit longer. I didn't realise just how long I'd been out there, and that's because I just didn't get tired that fast. And I think overall that's the big deal for me. The Deus is very light, the CTX feels very heavy. So really I want to be going for 3 or 4 hours, or maybe all day if I was on a great site. And you know, having your arm drop off after an hour and a half is a major drawback. But anyway, maybe I'll build up my strength. I'm going to carry on these tests because there's more to metal detecting in the ploughed field. Although frankly, it's enough for me.